Simon Doull on the road again for Crick Buzz, just heading from Taunton up to Birmingham. Tomorrow's game, New Zealand up against South Africa. A very well-rested New Zealand team, I will say. They've had plenty of time off. The coaches and management have given New Zealand players, I think, 2 or 3 days off to R&R with their families. Most of them have got their families and kids here, those who have got kids. So they've been either resting up in England or a little quick trip to Europe just to have a couple of days off, and then back into training 3 days ago, I think it was. Real shame to miss that India game in Nottingham due to the weather, and it's just part and parcel of being in England, unfortunately, at times. And, we've just seen a really bad week of weather. Let's hope that is behind us. From the team point of view, heading up to Birmingham now, so I'll see them train later on today. I expect Henry Nicholls possibly to come back into that side. I know Colin Munro has been okay without being brilliant, without having a big score, but Henry Nicholls was the incumbent leading into this tournament, and obviously before the injury, he was the guy they would have preferred at the top of the order. So if he doesn't come in, maybe Munro gets one more opportunity, but don't be surprised if Henry Nicholls does get back into that New Zealand side. This game is going to be all about the top order of South Africa versus the top order of New Zealand bowling, and vice versa. If Trent Boult and Matt Henry can strike early, allow Lockie Ferguson and Mitchell Santner to put some pressure on that South African middle order, then New Zealand can hold the upper hand. New Zealand have held the upper hand actually at World Cup events. Bilateral series, South Africa have been too good for New Zealand for the most part in recent times, but at World Cups, the last time South Africa beat New Zealand was Edgbaston in 1999. So maybe that is a good omen from a South African point of view. They'll be happy with their first win the other day up against Afghanistan, and looking forward to this match. They need some of their big guns to fire again. When I talk about the big guns, I talk about the likes of Hashim Amla, Faf du Plessis as well, obviously Rabada with the ball, and Gedi if he is fit. New Zealand will need to make inroads in that top order. Put some pressure on Hashim Amla. I know he got a score the other day against Afghanistan, but they need to find a way to put some pressure on him and therefore turn that into pressure on Quinton de Kock. Make him play a rash shot, make him look elsewhere, look for something that is not quite there, because he has to basically create the run rate for South Africa while Amla is not doing it. They need a Hashim Amla in form, and then South Africa can be a potent force in this tournament, allowing the likes of Van der Dussen and du Plessis in that middle order to capitalise rather than have to build the innings. So New Zealand wickets up front, look for Boult, Henry, and then maybe put some pressure on in that middle order with Santner and Ferguson. South Africa have got a good side. They've been talking the talk and the right talk, I think. They didn't want to put too much pressure on the side after those early losses. They got that win against Afghanistan. They did it in pretty good fashion, although the start with the ball was a little bit off. They found a way to get right back into that game and put Afghanistan away quite comfortably. So take all that pressure off. They don't want to feel it, and that will be the key for South Africa. I expect a cracking game. I want a cracking game. We haven't quite had enough really good games in this World Cup as yet. So New Zealand going into this game with a long break, South Africa off their first win. New Zealand win, maybe 60-40 to New Zealand because of the World Cup history, but all I want is a cracking game, and if South Africa do happen to get across the line, it keeps this tournament nicely open.